Coast, only on SportsGrid.
Live right here on SportsGrid. Kevin Walsh, Donnie Rightside, Joe Lisi, as it should be.
3 people tonight.
NFC West. I know what they're thinking. Thank goodness.
That chair's way more comfortable, by the way, over there.
You weren't sitting in this chair.
Yes, he was.
You never know.
No, you weren't.
Yeah.
Were you?
I thought you, yeah.
Feeling around.
Where'd you get the foot straps?
Let's get some relaxation in here.
All right, Lisi, first time for you on air tonight, so tell the people what you like.
Yeah, I actually like the dog in terms of the matchup. I'm on Matt Stafford. I'm on the Rams plus the 3, plus the 134 on the money line. Didn't take a shot in terms of the Rams props outside of Kyron Williams in terms of the receiving yards, having it at 9.5 and 10.5. He did have a couple of receptions last week for 10 receiving yards. I do feel he breaks out in the receiving game today on the road. I do like Debo. Now, I like Debo in terms of the rushing attack. Did take him 14.5 over up to 25.5. And on George Kittle tonight for anytime touchdown scored, Donnie.
Yeah, I'm with you on George Kittle. Did take him as well. Also took a Debo anytime touchdown. Various parlays out there at Rightside VP on social media. So I don't want to go through and board everything out. But for me,
yes,
49ers.
All right,
Yeah.
We'll see.
Head
Should be a good game.
Over here, Who you got tonight? Side?
I'm on the Rams team total under 23.5.
Niners guy?
That would shade me Niners. I would have played a full over if I could have gotten the 50s. But
I understand.
The Niners have had very, very good scoring efforts at home this season, so that reserved me a little bit.
Okay.
I will say I think we've got ourselves a great live wager game, and I know I wasn't here Monday, but I was shooting off to the two of you via text just in case you could see it and tell the people. But I was clicking away on those first play from scrimmage, rush 1+.
You did hit them, but I mean, before I came, as soon as I looked at them, they were already in already.
No, listen, that's a tight rope to walk.
Real quick, though, they just got the kickoff in. Debo took the kickoff, took a knee. He's going to be in. He was like minus 110 to catch a pass on the first drive. I didn't take it, but normal me should have been all over that, though.
That would have been a good look.
A popular play on a night where they're giving Donnie their boost in that market. I don't know what the odds would have been, but like you, if they would have said first play, Debo Samuel, catch, 5-1, I would have been interested in that.
I mean, being outspoken, saying that the team wasn't giving him the football, and then he got community noted and said that he leads the team in drops. So you got to believe he wants to step up and show out tonight. I will say the reason why I'm on the Rams tonight is just because I put, and not to take away from great call, but God.
That is incredible, though. Like, sometimes we talk in betting about, be careful of the narratives.
Yes.
Sometimes different. The first play from scrimmage was, hey, please throw him the ball so he stops.
Right.
And he couldn't get open on a slant route.
Right.
Yes.
And now he's going to complain all game.
Yep.
Like, I'll tell you this. We'll get into it at some point tonight. Like, the A.J. Brown stuff really rubbed me the wrong way.
Right. Shocking.
Donnie goes the other way on it. We can get to it here. But, when does Debo get the ball next? Like, now is it whenever?
We gave you a chance.
Yeah, no, seriously. Like, on the next drive, do you bet him to catch a pass again?
Well, it might not be pass. It might be on the ground. I mean, again, with Garendo a little bit banged up, and you saw he couldn't catch the edge right there. We'll see if he's 100% as this game plays out. I expect them to utilize him in the rushing attack. So it could be in terms of rushing yards, fly sweeps. I'll just go back to why I like the Rams. And not to take away, great call by you on Sunday with the 49ers outright, laying the 3 over the Bears. Bears didn't win a true road game. They're in shambles, right? Lost 6 straight heading into that matchup. Just put more into Chicago just being a mess as there was continuity with San Francisco. I was impressed with the Rams. We'll see how it plays out. They did win the first matchup early in the year. We'll see if it can continue tonight.
Yeah, a 3 and out there for the 49ers as it goes. But even the Debo Samuel first play of the game, he was covered. That was I'm throwing this to you no matter what happens here.
You said early. You said on a couple of shows you thought he lost a step.
It looks like he, to be honest, Joe, watching the past 3 years with Deebo Samuel, there's no other runner in space that I feared than Deebo Samuel. It's like, and I called it, he had a force field around him. Didn't look like he was moving incredibly fast, but nobody could catch him or tackle him. You don't get that anymore.
Yeah, we saw it week 1, remember? And that was the breakout performance. What did he carry? 7-8 times against the Jets, and they dominated that matchup. But we'll see. I mean, I am curious to see how this first quarter plays out from the total, because I didn't want to jump in at the 49.5, 48.5. I did feel that we were going to trend to an under potentially, but that doesn't mean, 13-10.
Yeah.
I think maybe we'll get some points, but I want to see if I can pick this up, potentially low 40s, maybe high 30s.
You mentioned something that rarely gets discussed, understandably, because it was week 1, it came and went.
Mm-hmm.
Opening game, no McCaffrey. We find out at the last minute. 8 carries for Deebo, which is right up there with as many as he's ever received in a single game.
Mm-hmm.
And I know the next week going into the game against Minnesota, one of my best bets was his rushing yards over.
Right.
Clearly, without McCaffrey, we are going to get Deebo on the ground. 2 carries, negative 10 yards. And you're like, huh. And you look at it now. Last week was the first time he had more than 4 carries in a game. But it's not just that. His yards per carry, if I may, in his last 3 seasons before this, 6.2, 5.5, 6.1.
Mm-hmm.
Donnie, 2.9 yards?
Yeah.
Like, we talk a lot of times about, like, hey, man, you want to bet a player over their rush attempts or over their yards?
Yeah.
Give me the yards. Come on, they're going to be explosive. Deebo Samuel, more than anyone. Like, I would never bet Deebo over 2.5 rush attempts.
Yes.
Give me over 14.5 yards.
Exactly.
This year, Donnie, you're getting 4 carries for 10 yards out of this guy.
It's the speed isn't there anymore. Was it just a change from 19 to number 1 and he just can't I mean, come on now. It's ridiculous. This is a guy that we usually talk about running backs falling off the cliff. Have we seen Deebo Samuel actually fall off a cliff right now? And you could say, yes. We've never seen a 4-game stretch where he gets 25. He's supposed to be, Joe, the ultimate weapon.
Yeah, and not only that, the turnovers, right? We saw the fumble on the kickoffs. He's dropping passes. The hands aren't as secure and consistent. Maybe he's just not as focused this year. It's possible. I don't know, but he's clearly not the same player that we saw over the past couple of seasons.
The Niners did end up going 3 and out. It's got the Rams on the field, but a penalty has already pushed them now into a 3rd and 14. So unless they get a big conversion, when we get back from our quick break here, we'll see the Niners offense out there for a second time. We're covering it the whole way, live on SportsGrid. I'm actually not even on a side today.
Yeah.
And I'll get to that. Why are you on Texas?
I gave them a chance. Maybe not me as the overwhelming authority in college football, but entering that game on this set to you guys, I said there was one elite defense entering the matchup in Austin back to end out October. It's not the Bulldogs like it used to be. It is Texas.
College football today, only on SportsGrid.
Those guys, those rookies, the Pacom Daddiers, the Jacob Toppins, right? The Tyler Koliks, those young kids. He wants to get them that check. It means a lot to Brunson. And honestly, folks, it's going to mean a lot to this New York Knicks franchise that's never been back to the Eastern Conference Finals or the NBA Finals since 1999.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid. The Bostonian versus the Book.
I remember one time, I don't know if Kenny will remember this, I said put 100 on, I think I left it on a text, put 100 on this horse that won, and then Kenny called me back later and goes, hey, I never got the text. And I'm like,
no.
Oh yeah. Remember that, Kenny?
I would never stiff anybody. He texted me as they're loading into the gate, maybe, like it's too late.
The Bostonian versus the Book.
The NFL and college, they don't operate on the same timelines, right? UNLV's head coach just got, the Purdue job this morning, where I imagine, right, UNC probably needs to know from Bill.
Let's say it's late December, and we see 7, 8 teams open, and none of them want Bill. then Bill's got to make a decision. Does he want to be a college head coach?
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
Out of bed.
Back on SportsGrid, action is in if you can still get it. I don't know if we're locked up. We could be trailing. I took my first of the night, rush for 1+ yards here.
All right.
Plus 110 price. It was worth it. For me, because there is a
Debo
method
gets it?
to Donnie, I love what you see
that?
I can't have that, though, because that'll go for negative.
Oh, wow.
There's a method to the madness, though, right? Like, my thought process, Donnie, you can tell me if it's silly or not, is what they do on the last drive. Well, the first play they passed, incomplete. Then they ran it. We were behind the sticks.
Yep.
My thought process is, all right, run it, pick up 4 yards, and now we're ahead of the game. That's my thought process.
Keep it sled, or we could see the play action pass, which again is a derivative of the running game. But I do agree that you had the 2, 3 and outs. You try to settle in. Your goal right now sounds dumb, not a touchdown. Let's get the first down, and then let's keep moving. So that's the best way to do it, stay in front of the sticks, Joe.
It is a good look. I mean, Debo went from 14.5. He's up to 16.5 in terms of rushing at minus 118, which I find a little bit odd. Well, like, I mean, why is it going up? I mean, talk about all those numbers and how negative it is to the rushing attack, and yet we're seeing the algo and we're seeing the book adjust the number to the upside.
My guess would be first play fit the narrative. They threw it to him. Touches are going to increase. They go with a throw, unfortunately. He could have scrambled.
Wow.
Kittle out of a cannon, this guy.
There you
Whoa.
go. All right. Sorry, Georgie.
All right, so that one ends up a loss. I will say I was worried about that one, but at the plus price, I couldn't pass it up. It's a 33-yard catch and run for George Kittle, which puts the Niners inside Ram territory. But, Lisa, I think you brought up a really good point. What I would say is
wide open.
First play fit the narrative.
Right.
Bettors maybe came in and moved it a little bit. Like, I know we think it all moves on algorithm, but look, if it gets clicked, it's going to move, and I wonder if people click.
Maybe they said he can't catch, maybe he can run. It's possible.
You have to place in the football.
Right?
Yeah.
They don't utilize him. Here we go. I was just going to say the motion, and he hit the ball carrier. Did you see that? That was
Debo just got a tackle before he got a reception.
That's good. You could see they're trying to set that play up, too, but Debo, again, runs into the running back.
Is he just out of it?
I don't know.
It's odd.
Did he dance today to the beatbox?
I will say, I mean, listen.
I don't know.
Like you can tell the broadcast just zoomed in on him. We've talked about him clearly a lot.
Yep.
He brought that on himself.
Yeah.
He brought that on himself because, following a win, he wanted to make it how it's not about him not producing has nothing to do with him.
Yes.
Which is, look, it's far more ridiculous than what AJ did. The thing is the Niners season, a lot of us think, is ultimately going to result in a missed postseason.
Yeah.
So it's kind of who cares. And also, if you're honest, like, Debo's going to be in trade rumors this offseason. He's in trade rumors every single offseason. So that's why that didn't bother me. We can, I don't know, maybe I'm opening this up too close to a break, but the reason the A.J. Brown stuff bothered me so much is the Philadelphia Eagles last year had a 10-2 record, and all of a sudden things fell apart. And now the Philadelphia Eagles at 10-2 on a 8-9 game win streak. They've won every game A.J. Brown's played. A.J. Brown said, you know what, enough's enough. I actually don't care about winning. I care about myself. And as you get your first Debo carry of the game, which, again, par for the course, goes nowhere, A.J. Brown making that decision in that moment, I find to be unacceptable. At the end of the day, it is a team game. If he did it after a loss, there would have been some validity there. That is not what happened.
Yeah, but
he
also,
had his first bad game of the season.
But it was
Donnie.
against a bad team. They saw it slip away.
But they're playing so much better, Carolina.
He had just wide open shots that Jalen Hurts wasn't taking. And you're going to get the frustration. The minute you get the cameras on and the microphone in front of these players' faces, they shoot off at the end of the game. They probably think differently the next day. What's wrong? Hey, you know what? We'll keep working hard is maybe the best thing, as opposed to saying the passing game is what the problem is.
Won 9 straight, though. They won 9 straight by 14-plus per game. I mean, granted, they played down to Carolina, but, I mean, expecting that type of intensity week to week to week, especially after they dominated Baltimore, I mean, you had to expect there was a little emotional letdown. And they have the Steelers on deck this week, which is a get-up spot, right? So, again, 4 receptions, 43 yards. I understand you didn't get your 100 yards. But the team is the hottest in the NFL right
It's the first time he played a complete game and had less than 60 yards.
Yeah, I know.
He's not Debo. Debo's had 4 straight games of less than 25.
Yeah.
A.J. Brown is averaging over 85 yards a game.
Yeah.
No, I know.
That's garbage what he did. I'm like, he has been the man all year. Well, you know what? I'm telling you what happened. I watched it clear as day. I'm sure you did as well.
Calcaterra touchdown?
The Devonta touchdown.
Oh.
A.J. was also wide open, but he happened to go to Devonta. And I know that play broke him because that's selfish.
The Calcaterra touchdown also, there was no celebration from A.J. Brown, who was right behind him.
But again,
That's a wide out, I'm telling you.
No, but like Don, again, it's funny in moments. That was as much as I've ever seen someone put themselves before a football team in my entire life. We got you after a Niners field goal next. I'm actually not even on a side today.
Yeah.
And I'll get to that. Why are you on
Right.
Texas?
I gave them a chance. Maybe not me as the overwhelming authority in college football, but entering that game on this set to you guys, I said there was one elite defense entering the matchup in Austin back to end out October. It's not the Bulldogs like it used to be. It is Texas.
College football today, only on SportsGrid.
Those guys, those rookies, the Pacom Daddies, the Jacob Toppins, right? The Tyler Koliks, those young kids. He wants to get them that check. It means a lot to Brunson. And honestly, folks, it's going to mean a lot to this New York Knicks franchise that's never been back to the Eastern Conference Finals or the NBA Finals since 1999.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid. The Bostonian versus the Book.
I remember one time, I don't know if Kenny will remember this. I said put 100 on, I think I left it on a text. Put 100 on this horse that won, and then Kenny called me back later and goes, "Hey, I never got the text." And I'm like,
no.
Oh yeah. Remember that, Kenny?
I would never stiff anybody. He texted me as they're loading into the gate, maybe. Like, it's too late.
The Bostonian versus the Book.
The NFL and college, they don't operate on the same timelines, right? UNLV's head coach just got, the Purdue job this morning, where I imagine, right, UNC probably needs to know from Bill.
And let's say it's late December, and we see 7, 8 teams open, and none of them want Bill. Then Bill's got to make a decision. Does he want to be a college head coach?
Pro football today, only on SportsGrid.
Back right here on SportsGrid, the Rams drive opens with a completed pass that required one of Puka's better receptions so far this season. After the made field goal, 46.5 total, but at minus 135 towards the over, a 2.5-point spread, Lisi, in favor of the 49ers.
Yeah, I still like the Rams here. Again, this Puka Nacua just makes incredible catches. I mean, you want to talk about body control and just hands, unbelievable in the way he just caught that pass. But I liked him plus 126. They defense buckled up, held them to a field goal. We haven't seen Brock Purdy outside the big chunk play to George Kittle in any type of a rhythm. Haven't seen Jawan Jennings or any of the secondary wide receivers. So I like where I am right now from a Rams perspective. Still think they're in it, guys.
And by the way, that to end that 49ers drive, I believe it was big play to George Kittle, 3 straight running plays, and you end up with a field goal at that point. So not really a lot of aggressive plays after that big shot.
My only thing is the 3rd and 6 run call is like right up my alley. 3rd and 6, let's
get
pick
close, maybe.
Especially because it went to, again, used to be the most explosive player in football in Debo.
Yep.
So that's the only grace I would give him, Donnie, but I totally understand the premise there. Stafford hits
he looks
Funga
terrible
in the
tonight
chest.
so far. My goodness.
Yeah, not good.
Buy low, sell high. I'm on his under yards tonight in this game.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So now 46.5. We really haven't moved, 3 points. I want to see it in the area of about 42.5, 41. I would jump in there.
See what he was looking
from
at
a total perspective.
Oof.
I
mean, it doesn't get any easier to intercept the ball.
I will say, I think the offensive line is playing okay. They're giving him some time, but he's.
Yeah. Oh wait, by the way, that guy had his hand wrapped up in like that little boot. Is that why he didn't catch that? I think.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Hey, look, old Debo's out there. Huh, nice return.
Debo -120 to catch a pass on this drive. Like, you can't bet it, really.
No.
Like, I know, like...
They have
How
the
about
lead
Jennings? How about Jennings to catch a pass?
-110 it was. Here's the thing. People may roll their eyes at this, and I actually don't mind it. In terms of value on a to catch a pass prop, like realistically, like, come on. We're trying to get in and get out of here, but I'm not chasing a Debo catch a pass bet that they keep juicing up.
No,
more
I'm not
going
to do that.
Like, that's
yards maybe. Yards maybe.
He's -138 to have 5+ yards.
He's in the
quarter.
backfield now. I need him. I did alt him as high as 25+. 14.5 and 25. So if they want to give it to him here, I'd be happy.
But the old story with that, Lisi.
Look at this.
He can't
get anywhere.
Like, Joe, this has been the case all year. I'm not, by the way.
He's washed up.
Like, I'm not knocking your bet. What I would say, though, is you used to be able to say, I bet Debo for running. He got 5 carries.
Yeah.
Can't ask for more than that. Yeah, you can. Because he got 5 carries last week and had 13 yards.
But we also used to see him on fly sweeps. I mean, I don't want Debo lining up like he's Christian McCaffrey and trying to,
sweeps. What
sweeps?
What
put him in
pattern-
motion and give him an end around. That's a fly sweep.
This whole game
there we
is
go.
just
Getting him
figuring
involved.
this out.
He's involved. It's Debo's game. This is the Debo game.
This
now.
is
Let's
crazy
go.
to watch. That is what the Eagles should do, man. Come out, break their offense just so
Give AJ
stops
Brown
complaining.
carries over Saquon.
You know
Would
what?
buy into it? I would.
See, I'm telling you, I'm very angry. I'm very angry about the AJ stuff. Like
he's still angry.
Yeah.
Now,
go ahead. Let him run into the pile. Do the old school thing they used to threaten in high school. Like, we're going to hand the rock off and not block.
No.
Back in the day. Yeah.
Actually, the Eagles should not block because Jalen Hurts doesn't throw the ball. It should be opposite.
No, listen, again, like, they run the ball more than any team in the NFL. AJ himself keeps calling Saquon the best player in the NFL, and he can't figure out why his numbers might be down. Like, seriously?
Hands open all the time. Like, I saw him I saw the locker room. He had the open sign in there, Kevin.
I saw that,
in a
too.
store.
44.5
Subliminal
now
messages.
after the 3 and out in terms of the total. It's dropping like a rock. Gotta love it. We get into the high 30s. Yeah, inconsistent.
Yeah.
That's 3-0 end of the first quarter wouldn't be bad. And then we open it up.
Debo did catch his pass on the drive. He has 2 carries, 2 targets. I don't know. Like, I think if I'm Kyle, I'm like, look, man, I did enough.
We did enough for you.
Like, sit down. Like, I'm going to throw it to Juwan the rest of the game. You're clearly
Terrible
cooked.
punt. Good bounce.
But again, I don't know. I don't want to harp on this too much. What's happening to Debo could very well cost him money. What's happening to AJ would never cost him $1. Like, that's my problem. They're not the same situation.
They're not the same, and they paid him in the offseason to try to avoid situations like this. You got your money, but top-flight wide receivers want the football and feel like when they are dominating out there and not getting the ball, it's the most frustrating thing you can have. And it's a guy that's used to getting 100 catches, tons of targets. And I know we always go back to the playoff game against the Giants. He ate that entire season, wasn't getting the football, and they said, you know what? Leave the starters out there. AJ, in the fourth quarter, we're just going to throw you bombs to keep you happy.
Which, again, that to me was a funny moment. Like, Donnie, the reason that A.J. Brown doesn't have 1,000 yards is he missed games. No other reason.
But
it's not Hurts.
He'll get his 1,000 yards. But he wants them now. He doesn't care about the team on a 9-game heater. He is Veruca, Willy Wonka. He wants an Oompa Loompa now. That's what it is.
I don't know. I just mind-blowing stuff, in my opinion. I'll tell you one thing that just very interesting. So the Niners kicked the field goal, made it.
Yeah.
Rams ball, 2.5-point favorite for the Niners. Niners force a 3-and-out, get the football back, 3-and-out on their own right. Rams now 3.5 points.
Yeah.
So for the books, maybe a little bit like, all right, nobody's moving the ball.
Yeah.
We juice up the Niners here a little bit. I mean, it's expensive, but you are getting the Rams 3.5 minus 128 with the football covering. That's not a bad number, Donnie, if somebody does like LA, I think.
No, it's not, but they haven't shown anything so far just yet here. Matthew Stafford should have thrown multiple interceptions already in just the first quarter, coming off one of the days where I'm tweeting out here going like, when this guy is hot, there's nobody better with his wideouts, and he looks horrendous. He's lucky that it wasn't an interception in the last one because Hufanga has like a club on his hand, so it just drilled off his chest. Otherwise, that's an easy interception going back the other way. Let's see who they get involved, though. Puka Nacua, that quick catch there. Cooper Kupp tried a couple targets, not really working out. Tried to run the football, nothing. Maybe they stay aggressive and try to take a couple shots deep, but you just need to start with first downs here. Let's see what the Rams end up doing.
Yeah, I mean, they have to get Matt Stafford involved in a rhythm. I'm thinking about jumping in on the San Francisco side right now on Jawan Jennings, 60+. It's a 25% profit boost, so you can get it at plus 148, 10-yard discount in terms of the pre-kick total. They're not going to go to Debo. I don't believe. You can't force feed him in the game and get 3 yards per carry or 3 yards per reception. Yeah. You have to start to extend and stretch this defense over the top. I'm going to take a shot on Jennings right now from an in-game perspective for an in-game bet here.
Yeah.
I was taking a look, Lisi. Purdy's yards for the quarter, 50+ was minus 148. He's currently at 38.
Okay.
That would be 12 more yards. The thing is, I'm not positive he gets back out there. Mm-hmm. And even if he does, it's hard to know how much time. That's factored into the price, obviously.
Right.
But I don't know if it is worth paying that type of juice for Purdy's live quarter passing prop, but it's an interesting market to dabble.
It is. The quarters are tough because how many possessions are you going to get? And that's the only thing with the quarters is that you have 1 8-9 minute drive. You're really up against it from that perspective. So we'll see. I'm still high on the total. Meaning if we get it in the high 30s, I'm looking to jump in at that particular perspective. Still lean to the Rams, guys.
I'd love to see, though, Donnie, what any quarter props look like if, say, Stafford throws incomplete here. And how much yardage would be added if they're going to get the offense back on the field there with 4+ minutes to work.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. They're just looking for their first down here, 3rd and short. Seems like a pivotal play early in the game just to get them cranked up.
No doubt about it. We're going to follow it here. We do have a quick break, though. We're with you on SportsGrid for Thursday Night Football.
So my team didn't win this weekend, but I still did with this app that's taking over the game. Sports Millions Pick'em lets you make quick and easy predictions. Pick your favorite players, go higher or lower, and you can still win big even if your team loses. Plus, the multiplier is insane. With just a few picks, you can win big money. So get on it. They've got a welcome bonus to help you start off your winning streak.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
It's two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity. I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results.
What? How do you do this once?
Oh, Donnie, you've got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Zoom, zoom, zoom. Sorry we were in break. But a little Garendo sizzle looks like it just hit my wavelength here. I took him to have 10-plus rushing yards within this quarter, and he started at 5. I don't know why that number was so low. It looks like maybe they were uncertain on his workload.
Yeah, it's possible.
Or if he was not going to be in that running back on that drive, yeah.
But, Donnie, we haven't seen any running back other than Garendo, have we?
No, I don't think
we've seen Debo, but we haven't seen a different back.
No.
Yeah, he's eating right now for you.
Look at him.
Look at him go. 5, 4 yards. Let's go.
But it's interesting, so you see the injury report tonight for San Francisco, and we get Garendo's playing where it was like, does he need surgery? Bosa all of a sudden's back.
Yeah.
Dre Greenlaw's all of a sudden back.
Mm-hmm.
And the word coming out of San Francisco is season's on the line.
Mm-hmm.
I think they are correct. Season on the line.
Yeah.
But that goes two ways. Okay, would have lost, they're done. If they win this football game, Lisi, 7-7, same record as the Rams, need a little bit of help with, Seattle dropping games, but it gets interesting.
It does, and Seattle plays the Rams in terms of week number 18, so we'll see how that game plays out. They already lost earlier in the year in Seattle, so now this game is in SoFi against the Rams. But to your point, it's a black and blue division in the sense of Arizona can't get off the mat. I mean, they've lost now, 3 straight heading into this matchup against the New England Patriots, now 5.5-point favorites on Sunday. I mean, it's wide open. But I think when you look at all the teams, they all have weaknesses, obviously. San Francisco, L.A., Seattle, Arizona. But they're so far off from the product and what we saw over the past couple of years that I just can't buy into the value on San Francisco.
Right.
So for me, it's everybody else. And then the 49ers, if I'm wrong, I'll just miss out on the bet.
Yeah.
But I can't buy in knowing that they're a shell of what they are. And that's the problem that I have, Don.
It is. You are what your record says you are. So the Niners just getting back to their dominant ways of the past couple of years. We know that's probably now coming back, trying to eke out the NFC West. This game will go a long way to try to determine that. And it's still close, and their saving grace is they play in the NFC West, and there's not a team running away with that division. Sloppy game early. You figure if you're San Francisco, the way Los Angeles has played, you missed a lot of opportunities. You had that one big play to Kittle, which ended up just in a field goal. You had multiple chances to intercept Matthew Stafford. You haven't done that yet. Sooner than later, their offense is going to get in gear here.
Yeah, but stalling out, Donnie, in areas of the field, under bettor's dream. Yep. Totals down to 40.5 right now. Niners do stay as 3.5-point favorites. The punts so far in this game have been good enough where, you're flipping the field when you are deciding to get rid of it there. But you look at a game right now, in terms of total offense in the game, 91 yards. A third of that belongs to the one George Kittle catch.
Yes.
This has been a sloppy.
Yeah.
Good defense, bad offense, pick your choice. But we've not seen a lot of juice.
I want to say it's a feeling out process. It's almost like a playoff game because the San Francisco does have their backs against the wall.
Yeah.
They don't want to lose two straight in regards to the L.A. Rams. They lose this game, then they really have to kick it up over the past few weeks just to get back into the mix and potentially win the division. So, I think they're a little bit tight. Brock Purdy, the offense is a little bit tight. We'll see how they adjust after one quarter. I'm getting what I want from the total perspective. I want to get out of this first quarter, no scoring, get me into the area of like 37.5. I'll be happy with that.
First play from scrimmage, thoughts? Ball on the 16 for the Rams.
Want to take a shot with a pass?
I think it's a pass.
All right.
I think it's a pass.
Completed,
so inconsistent.
Completed pass, 2-1.
Yes.
Incomplete plus
we're not
550.
taking shots on the 16. You're on the 16-yard line if you're passing. That sounds like a flood route type of situation. 5-yard out, 7-yard slant over the middle, dump off to a running back, maybe even a screen pass.
My thing, Donnie, is
I would love that.
the last drive opened with a screen pass, but it was complete.
Yeah.
The drive before that opened with a pass.
Yeah.
That was also complete for 7 yards. The opening play of the first drive was a run for 5 yards. What's incredible is this team's here first play from scrimmage has gone for 5 yards, 7 yards, and 4 yards, and this team doesn't have a first down?
Yeah.
That doesn't even make any sense.
No, it
so
doesn't.
it's one of those odd things where the reason I'm not going to run to bet my rush, which is usually how I prefer it, is I think they probably should almost tell Stafford, like, you're going to throw until you see the 50-yard line because we're not winning this game with you playing like this.
Exactly. Maybe get a rhythm, do something at that point here. So it is drizzling just a bit out there at San Francisco. But, again, not enough to do any damage to the game. A little bit of a slick surface. But we're waiting for those explosive plays. You got weapons for the Rams. We just haven't seen them.
Yeah, and again, short week. They dominate Buffalo in their house. High-scoring game. Expended a lot of energy to pull that game out. And again, we'll see what they do here. I will say, Kyron down to 66. Is that Corum? It was. He had a 13.5. I was going to just bring it up now. The rushing props on Kyron were dropping.
Yeah.
Right? He was down to 66.5. They hung a 13.5 on Blake. I was going to say we should jump on it. I was hoping that he wouldn't play this series. He would go out of the first quarter, but now we got to take a look. Did he get hurt there? No, right?
No, they're just showing Drake Greenlaw.
Right.
Making plays.
Don't get me nervous with that. I thought maybe something happened. All right.
Oh. So somebody did get injured?
It is raining a little bit more now,
Yeah,
Donnie.
it is raining a little bit harder.
So we got 64 on Kyron. They just upped Blake Corum on that 3-yard rush.
Warner.
Seven yards.
Yeah, that's a big deal. Jeez. If Fred Warner's injured?
I don't think he is. This guy's an Iron Man. Did he say he's playing with like a broken leg? Broken ankle or fractured ankle? What's he playing with?
What did he hurt?
I don't know. That was his knee that got flipped around.
Said he was all right.
All kinds of ways.
Oof.
That didn't look good.
That would be very bad.
Yeah.
I mean, a good night to get Trey Greenlaw back, but that would be very bad if that would be.
Be aggressive.
Whoa.
Matthew Stafford, man.
Woo. Ball's coming out hot. I mean, again, not that the first play was great, but it's not that this team's like opening play is incomplete or, we're losing 2 yards. Sure. I mean, there's no reason that this team is getting 3+ yards on their opening play from scrimmage and cannot find a first down.
No.
Yeah.
This is incredible.
Yeah, this game might be 17-13 final, the way with the weather now being an issue a little bit and both teams not consistent, especially in the passing game. Got to keep an eye out.
All right, we're going to take a quick break here. We'll see what the Rams can do on a big third down. Get their first down. We'll see. I'm actually not even on a side today.
Yeah.
And I'll get to that. Why are you on Texas?
I gave them a chance. Maybe not me as the overwhelming authority in college football, but entering that game on this set to you guys, I said there was one elite defense entering the matchup in Austin back to end out October. It's not the Bulldogs like it used to be. It is Texas.
College football today, only on SportsGrid.
Those guys, those rookies, the Pacom Daddies, the Jacob Toppins, right? The Tyler Koliks, those young kids. He wants to get them that check. It means a lot to Brunson. And honestly, folks, it's going to mean a lot to this New York Knicks franchise that's never been back to the Eastern Conference Finals or the NBA Finals since 1999.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid. The Bostonian versus the Book.
I remember one time, I don't know if Kenny will remember this, I said put 100 on, I think I left it on a text, put 100 on this horse that won, and then Kenny called me back later and goes, hey, I never got the text. And I'm like, oh yeah. Remember that, Kenny?
I would never stiff anybody. he texted me as they're loading into the gate, maybe. Like, it's too late.
The Bostonian versus the Book.
The NFL and college, they don't operate on the same timelines, right? UNLV's head coach just got, the Purdue job this morning, where I imagine, right, UNC probably needs to know from Bill.
And let's say it's late December, and we see 7, 8 teams open, and none of them want Bill. Then Bill's got to make a decision. Does he want to be a college head coach?
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
Back here on SportsGrid, a historically terrible start from the Rams. Donnie, can you give the people that context there?
First time, I guess it doesn't say open the game, but I'm going to assume that what it is. 4 opening drives, no first downs. The first time ever under McVay that has happened here for the Rams. And by the way, it doesn't say to start the game. That might be just ever 4 straight drives that he hasn't had a first down.
Which, all things considered, that's not an easy thing to do. At least we figure out, how do we jump in? The thing is, everything is moving so quickly within this game. I mean, don't get me wrong, the totals dropped a ton. But you have had in this game, so far, we're on our 9th drive. 9th drive of the game. We played a quarter of football. That's outrageous.
Yeah, it really is. I just jumped in on Kyren Williams rushing and receiving because of the wet track. I am concerned about them pushing the ball down the field. I'm still on the L.A. Rams to win this game. But, again, Kyren Williams is your most consistent player, especially with checkdowns. He can't push the ball, Stafford, down the field. He doesn't look like he's sharp tonight. That's a concern, especially now, coupled in the rain and the wet track.
Yeah.
I'm more concerned about the total. I want to see how low we drop here.
Yeah.
But I'm on Kyren for short throws. And with the rushing attack, he didn't dip below 59.5, so I jumped in 62.5 rushing. He's got 9. And I doubled up on the receiving 12.5.
Yeah, I'm not really feeling out the Rams' offense. Right? I'm not to say the 49ers are ultra impressive, but my goodness, just show me something out there. Matthew Stafford looks like every single play drops back. And to Joe's point to open up, he actually has time to pass. He's not under siege back there. It's like, hey, I just got to get rid of the football. Bad pass after bad pass, and great coverage, by the way, for the secondary of the San Francisco 49ers. Not able to take advantage. We'll see how aggressive the 49ers come out. But it is raining a little bit more steady than we saw to open the game. But all throughout the forecast, it was supposed to rain a little bit, stop, rain a little bit, stop, rain a little bit, stop. The wind doesn't look like it's all that much effective at this point. You're just waiting on the big plays that we're used to between these two teams, Joe. Just haven't seen them.
Yeah, it's really coming down like in buckets. And again, that might help us in the second half. Maybe it just blows over, and then second half we get a dry track and we have an opportunity to jump in. But I'm concerned now from the total perspective, and obviously both of these quarterbacks look a little shaky right now.
For me, the area to look, that final play before the quarter ended, it was another Debo reception. I think, kind of from the word go, obviously this seemed the case. I think we're going to see the football force-fed his direction, which makes me feel very good about my long reception prop. I think, especially if the Niners are going to be in control in this game, again, a victory here for San Francisco, they're going to tell themselves, you know what? We can win this division. And that's not a ridiculous thought.
Yeah.
They'd have the same exact record as the Rams. They'd have, I think, a better record than the Cardinals until their game on Sunday. You guys, Seattle has a tough opponent. They play Green Bay this weekend, so
2.5-point dog, right?
A dog in that football game. But what you're going to want is to leave with a good vibe, and that to me is Debo getting a Debo play. That's either a catch at 25 or a touchdown here.
All right.
I'm banking on the big reception. Now I'm not going to jump in again, because the current live number is 19.5.
Yeah.
I have 20.5. He catches the ball for exactly 20. I'll live with it. It will be unfortunate. But if I see at any point, Donnie, 14.5, 13.5 in that market for Debo, I'll be ready to buy.
Yeah, dropping and ready to go. That's what we're probably looking at this game. As Joe said, he's waiting to jump in on the total in this game. He's just waiting for a little bit of juice or some firepower to jump in as we see a false start from Debo Samuel having a fantastic game so far to put them behind the sticks at 1st and 15. Something has to break, because the one thing, Joe, that we look at, if the Niners can mount a touchdown drive that puts all the pressure back on the Rams, but for the Rams trying to work things out, only down 3. They'll take that.
Yeah, I mean, hold them at worst to a field goal, be down 6-0. You're within striking distance, especially on the road with the weather. You don't want to get this game get out of hand. 9, 12, 12-3 in that regard where you're down double digits. Keep it a one-score game. See what you could do. There's Jennings. Is that a push-off? I need Jennings. See what happens.
Usually in the area, but he was open. But he's saying the opposite.
There
so,
you go, Jumanji. I love this kid. I put him on the map. I can't buy in.
And you
all
didn't.
the,
You have no bets
I
on
put
him
the
tonight?
kid. Should be his agent.
How many bets you got on him?
Just one straight.
Nice.
It's kind of like a respect
the
play,
linchpin.
It is.
Now that he's actually the number 1, you don't like calling him the number 1.
Yeah, I know. I liked it better when he was the number 3, playing like the number 1.
Like I know, like you had no interest in Braylon Allen this past weekend, right? Braylon Allen, Breece Hall got injured, and Braylon Allen's still not the lead back on that team.
Who was getting it?
Isaiah Davis.
Yeah, tell me a little bit. That guy looks solid. Touchdown last week. Ooh.
Yeah, he had a big run against that team.
Braylon
ran well. It's just they decided.
Yeah.
Again, the kid that was taking touches away from Breece Hall is now in a split backfield with Isaiah Davis. First down there for the Niners, though. We'll see if this offensive drive is fruitful on the other side of this quick break. I'm actually not even on a side today.
Yeah.
And I'll get to that. Why are you on Texas?
I gave them a chance. Maybe not me as the overwhelming authority in college football, but entering that game on this set to you guys, I said there was one elite defense entering the matchup in Austin back to end out October. It's not the Bulldogs like it used to be. It is Texas.
College football today, only on SportsGrid.
Those guys, those rookies, the Pacom Daddies, the Jacob Toppins, right? The Tyler Koliks, those young kids. He wants to get them that check. It means a lot to Brunson. And honestly, folks, it's going to mean a lot to this New York Knicks franchise that's never been back to the Eastern Conference Finals or the NBA Finals since 1999.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid. The Bostonian versus the Book.
I remember one time, I don't know if Kenny will remember this. I said put 100 on, I think I left it on a text. Put 100 on this horse that won, and then Kenny called me back later and goes, hey, I never got the text. And I'm like,
no.
Oh, yeah. Remember that, Kenny?
I would never stiff anybody. He texted me as they're loading into the gate, maybe. Like, it's too late.
The Bostonian versus the Book.
The NFL and college, they don't operate on the same timelines, right? UNLV's head coach just got, the Purdue job this morning, where I imagine, right, UNC probably needs to know from Bill.
And let's say it's late December, and we see 7, 8 teams open, and none of them want Bill. Then Bill's got to make a decision. Does he want to be a college head coach?
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
A night of NFL history, perhaps. There's been so many 3 and outs. We didn't go to commercial, Donnie.
They don't even have
after
anything queued up. Like, look, we're out of it. We used them all already.
For the gift for the Rams, Lisi, is they'll start at the 4-yard line. So at least they've got a lot of room to work with.
I guess, feed Kyron. That's it. Feed him.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to get a first down. You don't want to punt, give a short field to San Francisco here. So you got to short throws, get it out, get it to the 15-20, and you're okay.
If you are someone on the over, and you've obviously watched that opening quarter, you kind of know somewhere in your stomach, all you're hoping for is a 3 and out. Short field, let's move it along.
Yeah.
You know that this is multiple first downs, flip the field.
They haven't even had one yet. They're just going to start marching out there.
Yeah.
Three plays, 10.5 yards at a time.
You might get it. You might get a 30 number. I'm serious. You might get a 30
37
number.
and a half before the drive, Lisi.
37. I tell you what, in the area of about 33 and a half, I'd be happy to jump in there. That's a total that even with the wet track, is worth it. 17 points of discount, 2 touchdowns, a field goal from the 49.5, 50. That's an area, because turnovers are still a key in this game. With the wet ball, anything could happen second half.
Yeah, again, you need those turnovers to break your way, though, Lisi, right? Because I also
might only need one or two that way to open it up, right?
Right, but you can't have them go the other direction.
No,
which both quarterbacks are capable of, right?
Right.
The wrong way interception there. I'm on a Rams team total under. Comes in. Obviously, it looks good.
Yeah,
I just think, again, not that I've been doing this forever, but I spent enough time betting overs to know when a game is done. Like, of course they got their first down, the drive you wanted them to not get it, and then they followed it up with a first down run for a loss of 2 when Kyron hasn't had a negative run all game long, Donnie.
Yep.
It's just the game's a mess.
It is.
It's pouring now, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Like, Donnie, could you give us maybe a live weather look in? Like, I don't know, like, just to see what the expectation
to be honest,
is?
it was the forecast was rain early, which means that you're going to get an okay amount. But the consequences for me betting this game, I didn't look at this by saying it's going to rain, I can't take any overs or take any prop bets. It's not all that effective at this point because they're not moving the football.
Yeah.
But if now you're saying to yourself, rain, drizzle the rest of the night, and it lightens up, we might get a different story, which is what Joe's talking about. The minute this game lights up, maybe you do get some players slipping down. Maybe you do get some bigger plays. But this is a big play right now with about 11 minutes to go in the second quarter where the 49ers probably still get the ball back in decent field position. And Matthew Stafford's looked terrible passing the football.
And both, I've seen one good play, the play to Kittle. Yeah. That was it. Yeah. That you say, wow, it was an explosive chunk play. Outside of that, both quarterbacks are shaky. Offensive lines, we'll see. His rushing prop was like a half a yard. You believe that? Unbelievable.
I don't want to come off annoying, but and now they will not score on this drive.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just sorry. I don't know. It just feels clear as day to me watching this one. Like, they can't get first downs all game long. And you both just said correctly, you know what? Off the field, Niners still get a good bit of field. Now, sorry, he runs for 12. Come on. Ridiculous. But that's what we're doing now.
But now we're looking, I'm going to say 30.5 by the time this drive is over in regard to the total.
Very possible.
5 more points. But again, that's an area where I would want to jump in personally.
That's his first completion on the drive.
Yeah.
Matthew Stafford there to Puka Nacua. And Cooper Kupp doesn't have a reception yet in this game.
What does he have, 2 targets? I think he
does have 2 targets.
Yeah. One on the third
One
down.
almost intercepted. One was like a lofted ball out of bounds that wasn't even close to him at that point.
It says 3. Forgive me if this plays a look his direction, but I wanted to pull it up for us. I don't think it is, though. So it says he has 3 targets.
But that's the type of plays that you're going to see play out with this type of weather and just knowing that how bad these quarterbacks are. They can't get into a rhythm. That's the easiest way. Bubble screen, allow your playmaker to break, contain, and see if he can take it to the house.
Right.
So, I mean, they got the ball, 12 minutes?
Kyron took the gloves off. So that must tell you that. Now, see, let me ask you, you guys who actually, kind of.
Gloves, I used to play with the Newmans back in the day.
Black Newmans?
Yeah, white ones, actually. So.
But
Tactified. Not
allowed to do it anymore.
The gloves were really bad in the rain.
Yes.
Like, I don't really follow that. Yeah?
Yeah, they get slipped. The new
ones are just outright. Like, if we got to be able to play out of these type of gloves, that would be so amazing. Yeah, you're basically playing with snow gloves back in the day.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, right. Like, those gloves were for weather, not for swag or performance.
Yeah, pretty much. Stafford.
They used to have ones that were tactified.
Yeah, the Newmans were.
Right, but the ones now
use the
with
gator
the rubber
grip with them too. Oh, it was great.
Used to be able to stick them on back in the day.
From the replacements. That's where I know that from.
Now they're like rubber, like everything. That's why they make the one-handed grab easy.
All the time.
Now, granted, the NFL ball is a lot bigger than the college and high school balls.
Yeah.
You gotta have mitts to chuck them in.
But sure.
But so what is this, third down coming up?
I think that was first down, wasn't it? I'm not sure.
Oh yeah, that was first down.
Yeah.
All right.
He's 2. First of all, he's not 2 for 9. That's not updated. Did they call that Puka play a run?
Oh wait, maybe they did. Is that correct?
Was it a lateral?
What?
They called it a run.
Yeah. Don't you like that better?
Oh, yeah, but to be honest with you, I'm in one of these moods, Donnie, where things are going so well.
Yeah.
I'm not even in that mindset.
Yeah.
Like, that's wrong. I just think Donnie, I spent so much time on the other side.
Yeah.
Where, like, Donnie, those 8 yards.
Okay, yeah, Nakua got it 8 yards, and I got a catch on that one. It's like he didn't even get a catch.
It's a monster.
How's that possible?
Yeah.
How, Lisa, he was standing on the line of scrimmage. How's that a run play?
I don't know.
Come on.
The score, it looked like a pass to me, lateral pass.
Can we stop with the guy who somewhere along the way was like these clear and obvious pass plays, who took the liberty to, run.
Yeah.
Think it was backwards.
Yep.
Like, they weren't trying to run it. Like, who are you helping?
I think it's like snap decisions, too, like on the fly. Like, I don't think anybody goes back and changes that for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Like, let's go back and review that. Guy just puts, boop,
Yeah.
run.
It is absolutely pouring right now.
It is now, yeah. This is disastrous. For the total, anyway.
Again, I you two can tell me when I'm being annoying.
Yeah.
But is that drive not exactly what we said the
That's
drive was going to be?
exactly what we said.
Started on the 2 or the 3.
And getting first downs by a half yard on third downs.
And that's the worst, right? Like, we kept getting to third down. They had multiple third down conversions.
Yeah.
They hit the 41-yard line. Perfect.
Yep.
Pin them, flip it, see you later.
That's by 1,000 slices.
And
That's
a great
what that
punt.
I mean,
Under.
We talked about the beginning of this game, million drives, so it wasn't as harmful.
Yes.
One drive just took 4 points off the total.
True.
It's down to 33 and a half.
Yep.
I mean, Lisa, you're more than 2 touchdowns south. You were asking for 33 and a half. I don't think you thought you were going to get it at the end of the drive.
No, I did. I thought I would get a shot on 30.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking at. If I can get 29 and a half, if they want to put it up there, I'll take a shot. Right now, we're staying firm. 33 and a half, juice to the under, minus 128.
Did you get in on a total?
Not yet. No, I'm holding off. I would like to see about 3 or 4 minutes elapse and then dive into there and then hope that the rain stops and I have a good number.
Yeah. Makes some sense at that point because you can't just jump in and say, hey, I'm on my own 10. We're going to get 5 plays,
I mean, I don't
90 yards and a touchdown.
I don't think we're going to get to the point, hear me out, of 20, right? Like, I mean, that would be a 30-point discount.
Yeah.
So,
well,
to me, 29 and a half is fair enough.
First half total.
Go ahead.
9.5. Minus 166 over.
Ooh.
But to your point of, are we going to see 20? Well, they're now not sure if there's even a touchdown in the first half. I mean.
Well, let's play it out. They hold them to a 3 and out. Inside the 10, they're conservative. They're not going to throw.
Yeah.
Get a short field. We're looking at least 3-3.
Big drive coming up for San Francisco. We're going to follow it here with you. It's in-game live.
So my team didn't win this weekend, but I still did with this app that's taking over the game. Sports Millions Pick'em lets you make quick and easy predictions. Pick your favorite players, go higher or lower, and you can still win big even if your team loses. Plus, the multiplier is insane. With just a few picks, you can win big money. So get on it. They've got a welcome bonus to help you start off your winning streak.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the game starts so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity. I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results.
What? How do you do this once?
Oh, Donnie, you've got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
On SportsGrid, Kittle with a reception on a 3rd and 8 to keep the drive alive for the San Francisco 49ers. And the next thing you know, it's a negative play.
Yeah. Send it back.
Correndo.
By the way, Kevin, weather update. You want a weather update?
Yeah.
All right. It says Kevin Ross says Thursday Night Football getting a decent downpour now. This will last through the rest of the half. May even get heavier, but the second half.
Whoa!
I'm still waiting for the 30 and a half. They have a 32 and a half firm.
Well, why don't
firm
you just
check.
wait until the half is over?
Well, because I'm just going to go. I'm going to go off a number. I have a number in my head.
Okay.
So when it gets to that number, I'm going to pull the trigger.
Yeah.
We need a Brock Purdy,
Jennings,
we
you
need a
gotta
Brock
die
Purdy
for that
sizzle
guy.
run here. Where's
You know
my
what I
guy?
do
Like, I
think-
got the wrong guy for rushing tonight.
And I tell you the one thing I will defend Debo on. Outside of the one play where they were like, if you don't throw, like, I think there's been two clear plays where Brock's only job was to get the ball to Debo.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem to actually progress to Debo Samuel, Donnie, right now, which isn't ideal.
No, but also, again, we saw a game in the snow. Isn't the perfect player Debo Samuel?
Yeah.
Not effective.
Well, he did fumble.
It's
too.
the pouring rain. Like, this should be rocket screens on the outside, left and right to Debo, and nobody can tackle him.
We'll see.
Here we go. It's raining so bad that nobody wants to do anything now.
Plus 128 looks good for the Rams. I'm still on the
second
Rams.
half. What are the total we looking at? We're hammering that over.
Can we get it? I want to get.
No
I
rain
get the
second
30.
half. We hammer it.
I don't know if I trust that wholeheartedly that it's going to just stop.
So, well,
I mean, we got about 3 minutes. It looks like it's coming down. Cats and dogs.
Yeah, it said it's supposed to get worse.
Well,
for the
hold
rest
on.
of the
Let's
first
play.
half.
Let's play the game, right?
Yeah.
Pre-game, total will go 48.5.
Yeah.
Means your second half total was between, because sometimes they shaded either direction, 23.5 to 26.5 if you really want to go on the upper echelon, right? But you can probably call it 24.5 for a second half ask.
Yep.
I would imagine they're going to drop that down based on what they've seen plus weather.
Yes.
Right.
So if they moved it to 21.5, right, that would, again, seemingly make sense. I would say at 20.5, you're getting a phenomenal number.
Yeah.
If the second half total is 21 plus cashes your ticket, I think you're getting a great number.
Yeah, no, it's a great look. We'll see. Now, what was that call on San Fran, the kicking team?
Illegal formation.
So
I guess what they do.
on to the run.
Yeah, 5 yards. Yeah.
So they started like midfield, basically.
With Stafford.
So got to
2 of
come
10.
away with 3.
Look at this rain.
Yeah, I mean, it is coming down. So we have 4 minutes left. Now a tick down slightly, 32.5.
Yeah.
I'm going to say they don't come away with points here. 28.5, 29s are popping up. Absolutely. We'll crack 30 in a big way.
Let me see if the first half is still up. 9.5 minus 128. In 5 minutes, there's 5:03 left.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think there is a touchdown in this half?
No, I think a field goal.
I think they just hang on until it stops raining at the half.
I actually agree. You know, maybe shame on us for not running to it, but 9.5 is plus 110 or plus 100, even money, call it, for a first half under. I don't hate that. I really don't.
Not a bad look. We have 3 points. You want to? This is probably the worst game we've covered on air.
Yeah. By the way, it does clear out for the second half, though. Looking at the live radar, so it should be interesting. I
mean, listen, we're not expecting 50 points.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
But if you 17, 14, or, in that area, I mean, that's doable.
Maybe I need to throw numbers out to the people. The problem is I know I'm not going to get a lot of bite because of what we're watching. So I'll go to the receiving game, which is where I know the two of you in live markets are far more likely to try and see what.
How about this? I'll throw a live market for you. Kyron Williams, plus 350 to catch a pass on this drive.
Makes sense. Quorum?
50. No, Williams. Hysterical. Hyena. Something must be funny. Cut you off. There you go.
Wow, you're in control.
There you go. No, I'm just saying.
Okay.
You hear it in the back.
Right. No one at home knows what you're talking about.
No,
rocking and rolling.
Rocking and rolling.
All right,
I told you.
All right, I'll handle it from here.
No,
Puka Nakua's got 7 yards. His live prop right now, 61.5. Kupp actually receptionless so far in this game. 36.5 is the ask for him. The idea with 5 minutes to go, plus trailing in the game, they're keeping the Rams numbers pretty high.
Yeah.
Juwan Jennings is at 67.5. You compare that to the Puka number. Yeah, it's 6 yards higher, but Juwan Jennings has 24 more yards currently in this game comparatively. We know that George Kittle's been leading the show. That's why his number is 77.5. The dropper right now on the Niners side, that would be Deebo Samuel. 10 receiving yards, 2 receptions, has a 37.5 prop there. So the Deebo number becomes a little interesting if you think you could get a 2-minute drill out of the Niners in this game, considering the field position and the time on the clock. I don't think that would be a mistake right now. Rushing-wise here, you've got Brock Purdy at 9.5, so still, Donnie, they're expecting them to run out a little bit. Deebo Samuel checks in, Lisi, 11.5 on the ground at 3 currently.
So only 3 yards off of his pregame total, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, again, with the wet track, you got to believe that they're trying to feed him to some capacity.
Sure.
We haven't seen the total move at all right now.
Yep.
I think right now we'll just stay pat. I mean, again, I would take a shot maybe on one of the receivers, Puka or Cooper Kupp, to catch a pass on this drive. I mean, you're getting plus 125 for Cooper, right?
Are those still up?
They were.
How's that play not blown dead?
Yeah.
Like, here's the issue I have with plays like that. Would you see it a lot?
Why was it blown dead, though?
No, I'm saying, like, why wasn't it blown dead if he stood up? Because here's what they don't want to happen, and you would get fined, where the safety comes in full speed and blasts his legs while he's standing straight up in the air like that.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. Somewhere along the way, they decided they liked the additional 6 seconds of pushing that can gain the yardage.
Like, that should be 3rd and 5. It's 3rd and 1, which, again, good for the Rams, but I don't know why that play is even allowed.
But now 4-down territory, no, Donnie?
Absolutely.
Which, again, but, the way this team's playing right now, I wouldn't – and they get the yard, but, man, it wasn't easy.
What about if the Rams actually take the lead at the half? How bad they've been. Incredible.
Yeah, I mean, that's
even money right now. Money line.
Yeah.
The Rams certainly expecting some scoring on this drive. We'll be right back here on SportsGrid. I'm actually not even on a side today.
Yeah.
And I'll get to that. Why are you on Texas?
I gave them a chance. Maybe not me as the overwhelming authority in college football, but entering that game on this set to you guys, I said there was one elite defense entering the matchup in Austin back to end out October. It's not the Bulldogs like it used to be. It is Texas.
College football today, only on SportsGrid.
Those guys, those rookies, the Pacom Daddies, the Jacob Toppins, right? The Tyler Koleks, those young kids. He wants to get them that check. It means a lot to Brunson. And honestly, folks, it's going to mean a lot to this New York Knicks franchise that's never been back to the Eastern Conference Finals or the NBA Finals since 1999.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid. The Bostonian versus the Book.
I remember one time, I don't know if Kenny will remember this. I said put 100 on, I I think I left it on a text. Put 100 on this horse that won, and then Kenny called me back later and goes, "Hey, I never got the text." And I'm like,
no.
Oh yeah. Remember that, Kenny?
I would never stiff anybody. He texted me as they're loading into the gate, maybe. Like, it's too late.
The Bostonian versus the book.
The NFL and college, they don't operate on the same timelines, right? UNLV's head coach just got, the Purdue job this morning, where I imagine, right, UNC probably needs to know from Bill.
And let's say it's late December, and we see 7, 8 teams open, and none of them want Bill. Then Bill's got to make a decision. Does he want to be a college head coach?
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
All right, back with you right here on SportsGrid. We are at the 2-minute warning. Kyren Williams still seems to be the only reliable part, Donnie, of this Rams offense.
Yeah, it does, and rightfully so. If you are in a rain deluge right now, you need your running game to perform. You have a top running back in the NFL. You need to get points. You haven't scored any at this point right now, so I can't fault him. And it's not to say, well, give Stafford a chance. He's 9 of 10, but the wide receivers just can't run with it. No, he can't. He looks like he can't handle the football right now. You need points. You need to keep running the football, and it's working. It's under 2 minutes to have a couple timeouts in your pocket. I expect to see more of the running game even under 2 minutes here.
All right.
You have 30.5s popped up. I jumped into that minus 115 on the over. Did take another shot on the Rams money line plus 112. Again, I still think they're in this game from start to finish. They're on the 35, right? 2nd and 7. See if they can convert, get a field goal. Who knows? Maybe they score the touchdown, go into half. I just don't like what I see out of both offenses, but I do believe that LA is running the football just a little bit better than San Fran right now.
Yeah, Kyren Williams is certainly picking up steam here in this game. It's not been anything super explosive, but the volume is there. You are looking at, and this is where I think occasionally, because people aren't in love with Jalen Hurts or Goff or even, obviously Sam Darnold, which is all, valid to a level. Yeah. People run to go, Stafford's the best quarterback in the conference, no close second. Yep. Well, Matt Stafford right now has 11 yards, and I'm pretty sure if Jalen Hurts did that, I'm pretty sure if Jared Goff did that, we'd be calling for Kenny Pickett and Hendon Hooker, respectively, on those football teams here.
There you go.
And
flip screen, smart
by
plays.
the way, his completed passes in this game, because that's the third one, screen pass to Kyren, screen pass to Puka.
Yes, correct.
And Puka had to catch a pass off a helmet.
Yes.
And went for 7 total yards.
That's the longest pass today.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I mean, is it, the short week? I don't know, because he's definitely not the same quarterback we saw on Sunday. Now, granted, that was indoors. This is out. San Fran is bringing some pressure. Matt Stafford, not the same quarterback when he has to move outside the pocket or move off his mark. We'll see right now. But, again, your best asset is the rushing attack, going for it on 4th down here.
I think they'll call a timeout.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. No, they're going for this. They're not kicking this. I don't think they kick this in the rain.
See, that's the only thing I don't know, Donnie, is
it doesn't look like it's raining as hard, though, as it was a couple minutes ago.
It looks like you already actually got that clear out, maybe.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, huge if they do kick here for the Niners offense. Because they're going to try and go and throw, and if it's clear skies all of a sudden, Lisi, you could get an explosive play.
Yeah, I checked it. We haven't dipped below 30.5. We'll see if we go into the half 3-0 if that changes right now. But again, I think 30.5 to me is a good number.
Yeah.
Now, it doesn't look like it's raining at all now.
It is. You can see the rain a little bit, but not nearly as hard. Yeah. And I don't really think the wind is all that big of an issue at this point here. So let's see.
Ultimately, I think I'm okay with this decision because on 4th and 2, I wouldn't love running it. It's not going to guarantee me points.
Got it.
And I'm not throwing with the way Stafford's looked in this game. I don't care. I take my 3 if you can get it, and that's exactly what happened there. The changes that are made to your live numbers now, minus 136 for the Niners. They are just 2.5-point favorites.
Yeah.
The football will belong to the Rams, I believe, to start the half. So that certainly helps for momentum. Total, it goes down to 29. I will throw this out there to people. Oh, no, those are third quarter props. Oh, I thought they still were keeping second quarter props alive. So just tell me specifically, Niners receiving game, to you guys, would it be worth trying to make bets before the half, minute 5, all 3 timeouts, because you expect everything from here until the half to be throwing?
I took a shot, plus 160, Jawan Jennings to catch a pass on this drive. I took a profit boost. I think I got it plus 208.
Okay.
I'm gonna lay off because I am going to bet the over probably in the second half here and take a look at some of these depressed numbers. The reason I don't want to bet it on this drive is the players are still soaking wet across the board.
Yeah.
You go into the half, you're changing jerseys, you're changing pants at that point, you're changing gloves, you're changing undershirts. You get the point there.
Yeah.
Much more comfortable in the second half. But I do hope that, from my perspective, I have a lot of prop bets here for the 49ers. Give me 4 or 5 completions in this final couple minutes, this final minute here. Scoring, I don't know if they're going to do that, but give me 30, 40 yards. I'll take it.
I think that's a fair point where for some people out there, your action, just them being successful here might be all you need, and you don't actually need to capitalize on that being true.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take a little chance on Debo's 35.5. I'm not going to go crazy on it, right? Not, live wagers can all vary, but I like Debo 35.5 before this drive here. We'll see how it plays out after a quick break. I'm actually not even on a side today.
Yeah.
And I'll get to that. Why are you on Texas?
I gave them a chance. Maybe not me as the overwhelming authority in college football, but entering that game on this set, to you guys, I said there was one elite defense entering the matchup in Austin back to end out October. It's not the Bulldogs like it used to be. It is Texas.
College football today, only on SportsGrid.
Those guys, those rookies, the Pacom Daddies, the Jacob Toppins, right? The Tyler Koliks, those young kids. He wants to get them that check. It means a lot to Brunson. And honestly, folks, it's going to mean a lot to this New York Knicks franchise that's never been back to the Eastern Conference Finals or the NBA Finals since 1999.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid. The Bostonian versus the Book.
I remember one time, I don't know if Kenny will remember this, I said put 100 on, I think I left it on a text, put 100 on this horse that won, and then Kenny called me back later and goes, hey, I never got the text. And I'm like,
no.
Oh, yeah. Remember that, Kenny?
I would never stiff anybody. He texted me as they're loading into the gate, maybe, like it's too late.
The Bostonian versus the Book.
The NFL and college, they don't operate on the same timelines, right? UNLV's head coach just got, the Purdue job this morning, where I imagine, right, UNC probably needs to know from Bill.
And let's say it's late December, and we see 7, 8 teams open, and none of them want Bill. Then Bill's got to make a decision. Does he want to be a college head coach?
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
All right, back right here on SportsGrid. The opening play for the 49ers, a reception for Debo Samuel. The follow-up passes, though, fell incomplete. One towards Ricky Pearsall, though he never had a chance at it. The other, a deep shot to Jawan Jennings. Considering they had all their timeouts, a disastrous drive from the 49ers to let it look like that, Lisi, after 6 yards on the opening play.
Yeah, it was bad drive by Brock Purdy, not looking underneath to get the first down. That's the biggest thing right now. You want to stop the bleeding, stop the momentum of L.A., try to get into field goal position right before the half.
Yeah.
Didn't do that. Now we're tied what does that do in terms of the momentum for San Francisco, right? They completely dominated from a statistical standpoint the first quarter, only had a 3-0 lead. Now they're tied. L.A. comes out of the half with the football. You got to believe that you're going to get at least a little bit of a better effort out of Stafford in the second half. That's why I do feel that L.A. pulls this game out. We'll see what transpires with second half adjustments. But outside of Kittle, who has 43 yards, I mean, San Francisco has no main weapon right now.
Yeah, no, they don't. There's a couple catches for either side there. 3-3 at the half. If you're the Rams, you'll take that. But also, as you see now, rain getting lighter and lighter, about 15 minutes before that second half probably kicks off, 15, 20 minutes. If you do have a drier second half, 29.5, 6 points on the board, I do think we're going to see multiple touchdowns because the offense will open up in the second half, deeper shots downfield. If the wind, which looks like it's really obsolete, no wind and no rain, I think you might be able to get some points in the second half.
How aggressive here, Donnie, if you're the Rams?
None.
2 timeouts.
Nothing. I don't think I'm doing much here. Yeah.
Look at this.
See what's interesting.
That's been every throw.
You think Cooper Kupp's going to ask for the microphone at halftime to talk about how much he hates being on this team?
No, it's raining. He don't want to. That's not his game. He's like, you know what? I don't want to get rammed.
I didn't actually want
exactly.
second half.
Look at him. He's got his hands behind his back. He don't want no piece of this.
His number was 60
going in.
pre-game. So
you got to walk me through the world where you throw on first down, get 8 yards, and go, all right, let's get out of here. Like, how is that all true?
They figured if he could have busted at 20 yards. You know what I mean? That's all
right. You had 2 timeouts. I don't know. I think that's a little
favorites
odd there.
Now. Rams are favorites.
Rams will start the second half with the football in this game. You're going to get your halftime coverage, though, coming up right now. Keep it here. It is SportsGrid on a Thursday night.
What's going on, and welcome to Pro Football Today, halftime show for Thursday Night Football. The Rams taking on the 49ers, and what a game this is. 3-3 at halftime. There's rain. There is a lack of offense overall, and there are a ton of punts. Now, this is not to say that all bets are dead at this point. All player props are dead at this point. Depending on what you have, you may still be alive in certain things. So, again, 3-3 at halftime. Let's just take a look at the live total and whatnot. The live total is sitting at 28.5 with the juice minus 120 towards the over. Rams, 49ers, both tied on the money line at minus 113. We do see the Rams as a slight minus 1.5 point favorite. They do get the ball coming out of halftime. It actually just flipped. 49ers now the favorite at minus 118. Rams are sitting at minus 108. 3-3 at halftime. The pregame total for this was sitting at 49, 49.5, 48.5, whatever it might have been. And again, sitting at 28.5 with minus 120 on the over. Is obviously cruising towards the under. There are some reports, and I'll, of course, preface this by saying I'm not a meteorologist, but there are some reports saying that the rain might be a little bit lighter in the second half, and it won't be as consistent throughout the second half. It is what it is. Let's recap things of where we are. Matt Stafford, 4 of 12 in the first half, 23 yards. Kyren Williams, 14 carries, 44 yards. So he is on pace to hit the over on his yards. I believe his carries attempt. Vinny, do we have a graphic for Kyren Williams' carries? I believe his carries was at 18.5 or 19.5. So he is well on his way to hitting the over. So this is not to say, again, with a 3-3 game, this is not, so that's receiving yards. He's well on his way to hit over 72.5 receiving yards. His carries, I believe, was at 18.5 for his carries attempts prop. He's at 14, which is great. So if you're on the over on that, I think you're fine. The yards, I think you're also fine. If they continue to move the ball down the field, he should be one of the main options finding his way into the end zone. Puka Nacua, 3 catches, 19 yards. Kyren Williams, 1 catch, 4 yards. Cooper Kupp, 0. Everyone else is 0. Cooper Kupp does have 3 targets. On the other side of things, Brock Purdy, 9 of 19 for 96 yards. It's not the worst. I did specifically talk about Brock Purdy over 30.5 passing attempts. I also said I like his yards, but I do like the attempts. He's on his way to hitting that as well. Running back room, Isaac Orindo, 8 carries for 17 yards. Deebo Samuel, 2 carries for 3 yards. Guerrero, obviously, coming into this game, was questionable, was limited in practice on Wednesday, didn't practice Monday or Tuesday, coming off this foot issue. He has not been doing anything on the ground, but it is important to note that no other running back no Pat Taylor, no Keyshawn Vaughn. No one else has seen any carries out of the backfield for the 49ers. Granted, neither them nor the Rams have been sustaining drives to see a lot of players involved. We did see one nice catch from George Kittle. He's up to 43 yards on the 2 receptions. And then we see Juwan Jennings with 2 catches for 31 yards. So Kittle is on his path to hitting the over on his receiving yards. You could also make the case that he could still certainly get there when it comes to receptions. He's sitting at 2. I believe his line was 4.5. If we have the graph for the tight end, 4.5, and for Kittle, and his yards was sitting in the mid to upper 50s for George Kittle. So props aren't dead for some of the players. Now, some of the props, you could say Matt Stafford passing prop, that might be dead. He's not going to be pushing towards, it was 61.5 for George Kittle. He's got 43 at halftime. That does look pretty good. Matt Stafford with 23 yards, he's probably not hitting his pregame number. Let's take a look at what his in-game number is sitting at right now. I'm not seeing a Stafford passing prop. I'm just seeing Purdy at 215. He's sitting at 96 yards right now. Puka Nacua is sitting at 61 yards. Cooper Kupp is sitting at 28.5. These are some low numbers. George Kittle has bumped up to 69.5 for his live line. These are some tough ones. So I think Kyron Williams might be the answer, but his line is locked right now. He has 44. I would assume that jumps up into the upper 80s or low 90s considering how this game is going. I would be interested in Blake Corum. He only has 3 yards right now, but he could continue to get involved, especially with the way this game is going. They can't give Kyron Williams 30 carries. He could get 22 to 26 or so, but Blake Corum could see a path moving forward. Isaac Arendo, 43.5. His line was sitting at 60 or 61.5. He's sitting at 17 yards again. I was very concerned about Isaac Arendo's overall health and ultimately his effectiveness of what we were going to be seeing in the game. As I made the case on the pregame show with Adam and Dave, I thought Brock Purdy was going to have a big game. Rain, he was obviously playing a different factor, but Garendo's being ineffective. That just is what it is. And call it the fact that he's not fully healthy. Maybe the conditions are playing a bit of an issue where he's not able to get his footing, and combine that with him not being 100%, it actually makes things worse and worse for Garendo overall. So if that is going to be the case, the question is, do we translate that to then Purdy thus having to do more? 215.5 for a passing prop when he's sitting at 96. They don't get the ball coming out of halftime. They should be in for, I want to say 4 possessions at a minimum, hopefully 5. And we can't use the first half as an indication when they have 6, 7, 8 possessions when they're all ending 3-and-outs and punts. What we want is 5 possessions from the 49ers in the second half, but they have to be sustained drives, which I know is asking a lot at this point, what we've seen. We have more to get to on the other side of this break. Again, 3-3 at halftime between the Rams and the 49ers. Live total has plummeted. We'll touch on all of this on the other side of the break. Again, this is a huge game for the NFC West for playoff odds, implications, playoff, to make the playoff tickets if you have those for either of these teams. So stay tuned. Other side of the break, we'll continue to run things. And again, live over under seeing at 28.5. Stay tuned. Other side of this break, Pro Football Today halftime show.
Two guys that can do it all. Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity. I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results.
What? How do you do this once?
Oh, Donnie, you've got such a good show there. A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Uncle Stevie can just walk up the aisle like he's at the supermarket. I'll get a starting pitcher here, I'll get a closer here, I'll get a first baseman here, and he'll just keep throwing things in the cart because there is no limit.
Now he's gone, so they got to go get arms to make that team better. Because the bottom line was they were just outclassed by the Dodgers. Let's face it, they got their ass beat.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
OU is definitely better than Syracuse. Miami's lost by 4 and by 5. But that offense is so good.
Right.
You cannot run away from them.
But the perception is, if we're talking about those two teams, Oklahoma's just this blue blood program, and Syracuse and Georgia Tech are not.
Right.
So that's why we give you a reason then to keep out Miami from the playoff.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
How do you find some of this great talent that you've brought in, who are still early in their career, might not have a ton of tape on them yet?
I've been around this business, man, for almost 20 years. So a lot of these guys will tell you that I popped into a lot of gyms, sparred or just worked on the side or, kind of worked out, just watching. I've always loved this sport, man. I think it's the greatest. And we want to continue to put on the next up-and-coming superstars. We know we got them.
Only on SportsGrid.
What's going on, and welcome to Pro Football Today halftime show. My name is Tom Vecchio. Thursday night football, and what a game we have. 3-3 at halftime. 49ers hosting the Rams. The live total sitting at 28.5. It is now minus 125, juice to the over. Rams get the ball coming out of halftime. They're minus 108 in the money line. 49ers slight favorites at minus 118 with the live lines. The Rams, you get the point to them at plus 1.5. It is juiced at minus 130. Looking around for some player props, at least live player props to potentially look at this point. Not seeing a whole lot. At least I'm not seeing passing right now on FanDuel. It's just Purdy at 215. If you jump over to DraftKings for passing props, again, depending on what you're going to be seeing, Stafford's line is sitting up 148.5. Don't have a whole lot of interest in that. And I know Adam and I on the pregame show, we spoke about the SGPs in terms of having faith in Stafford. Really what I wanted to see. I think one of the more interesting spots, as I kind of mentioned prior to the break, is, Kyren Williams could and should continue to be in for a big workload, but ultimately, how much is Blake Corum going to be involved? So Kyren Williams currently has 14 carries in the first half, and he's certainly on pace to hit his rushing props. He has 14 carries for 44 yards. You can bet on live rush attempts on DraftKings. You can't on FanDuel. The line is sitting at 24.5. It is juiced to the under at minus 125. Again, kind of plays into what I was saying is that Kyren Williams is not going to have 30 carries tonight. Like, we will see Blake Corum involved at a certain point. It just depends on how many. Now, Blake Corum's line is sitting at 4.5. It is juiced minus 120 over, but it's currently locked right now. I would be interested in Blake Corum having 5 carries, right? We're not asking for much. We're not asking him to be the dominant running back in the field for the Rams, but Kyren Williams ending with 22, 24 some odd carries, and Blake Corum ending with 5 or 6, considering how this game is going with the rain. I don't think that's too much of an ask. So Blake Corum over 4.5 at minus 120 is the spot that I'm looking to go, although it's currently locked right now on DK. So that's one thing I will be jumping on. If it does open up and the line, again, doesn't change, it doesn't jump to 5.5 or it's not juiced to minus 150, I would, of course, tweet that out as the second half gets underway. Again, 3-3 at halftime, live total sitting at 28.5. It is still juiced minus 125 to the over. Rams do get the ball. I would expect much of the same in the second half for both of these teams. We are seeing at least a good amount of passing volume from Brock Purdy. He does have the 19 attempts. I did talk about over 30.5 passing attempts for Brock Purdy, and he's at 19 at halftime, so we're in a good spot. Really slow first half, but this is the game that we have. It is a critical game for both of these teams for their playoff future, specifically the 49ers. They almost need to win this game. They're not mathematically eliminated with a loss, but their playoff odds would be sub 1% with a loss. So they have to come out and get something going. They haven't gotten it going on the ground in the first half with Isaac Guerrero. They need to move the ball, I'm going to say, between Jennings and Kittle in the air. I think the Rams should continue to do what they are doing, get the ball to Kyren Williams, start to get Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua involved in any way that they can. And I think little by little, they will certainly start to take control of this game. Again, live total sitting at 28.5. Rams get the ball coming out of halftime. Of course, we'll be back with you guys after this game to not only break this down, but look forward to Sunday slate for all the critical games coming up. Stay tuned for In-Game Live.
Back in, and it's going to be Rams ball to start the second half. And due to the 3-3 nature of this game, the game is a round pick, minus 118 on the Niners right now, total 28.5. Talk to me, fellas. Donnie, I go to you first. Live action, what do we like?
Live, put in a couple bets at the half. Each quarterback to throw one touchdown in the second half, parlayed it together. It's plus money, so I'm on that. Also took Cooper Kupp over 28.5 receiving yards in the second half. He's got 0 at the break, so again, 30 yards will essentially get that done. And also took over 28.5 for the game. You see the, Sean McVay talking right now, not raining right now, and the rain was supposed to clear, and it's done that. I think we get a clean, not a great second half probably, but a cleaner second half. Chip.
Yeah, I doubled down on the total. 20.5 popped up. I jumped on that, minus 114. Did jump on. George Kittle got 43. 68.5 is his receiving total in the second half. Jumped on that. And then still sitting on Debo rushing, and then Kyron rushing and receiving. So we'll see how it plays out.
For me, I didn't move to anything, but I'm now, not to be one-track mind, but Debo really does interest me because I've told you guys I think the long catch will be there tonight. Yeah. That number's down to 14.5, which is a little bit tempting. However, due to the fact that I jumped in on the 35.5, I feel less inclined to click on that number because of how close that would put me to that live wager.
Yeah.
I'm a little interested in, well, what if that catch goes for 40, as sometimes the Debo catches do, 60+, 70+, 80+. You could certainly get some big-ticket payouts. And with the fact that the Niners have, missed, it feels like the Niners have played much better.
Yeah.
But it's a tie game and the Rams have the ball. Well, what if all of a sudden it's a trailing situation and we need, Purdy to go out there and start throwing a little bit? So I think there could be some very serious value. I will say I think the, not chalkier, but you may not be getting a lot of value like, this is a much lower number. But clearly Kittle is his favorite weapon right now. I know he's throwing the ball to Jawan Jennings, but I guess the consistency perhaps of Kittle is what's a little attractive. It's more Niners live action for me, Donnie, that I would be looking at.
Yeah, no, and I can't blame you at that point. Home team here, nothing really to really talk about in that first half. And it looks like you get a 3-and-out right away for the San Francisco 49ers, getting it back. 2 runs and a pass that basically went nowhere. Everybody was covered. Niners get it back. And again, looking at a pretty clean game. Not raining right now, Joe, which is key.
Yeah, and Stafford looks terrible. I don't know what it is, if he's banged up a little bit. Hasn't taken any shots. Puka's been locked up. Cooper Kupp's been locked up for the most part. The only thing that's somewhat open is the check down to maybe Kyron on 1 or 2 plays. Outside of that, we've seen bubble screens the whole game.
Yeah.
Haven't seen really a 10 or a 15-yard pass where he's drifting the football down the field. That's a concern for me back in L.A. They have to open it up somewhat here in the second half.
He does not have a completion beyond the line of scrimmage yet in this game.
That's
can't have it.
Yeah.
It's the third quarter.
Yep.
Matt Stafford. That cannot happen, but here we are. We'll see what the Niners can do as they get the football. We'll take a quick break. Be with you for the whole second half. Thursday Night Football. I'm actually not even on a side today.
Yeah.
And I'll get to that. Why are you on Texas?
I gave them a chance. Maybe not me as the overwhelming authority in college football, but entering that game on this set to you guys, I said there was one elite defense entering the matchup in Austin back to end out October. It's not the Bulldogs like it used to be. It is Texas.
College football today, only on SportsGrid.
Those guys, those rookies, the Pacom Daddies, the Jacob Toppins, right? The Tyler Koliks, those young kids. He wants to get them that check. It means a lot to Brunson. And honestly, folks, it's going to mean a lot to this New York Knicks franchise that's never been back to the Eastern Conference Finals or the NBA Finals since 1999.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid. The Bostonian versus the Book.
I remember one time, I don't know if Kenny will remember this, I said put 100 on, I think I left it on a text, put 100 on this horse that won, and then Kenny called me back later and goes, hey, I never got the text. And I'm like, no. Oh, yeah. Remember that, Kenny?
I would never stiff anybody. he texted me as they're loading into the gate, maybe. Like, it's too late.
The Bostonian versus the Book.
The NFL and college, they don't operate on the same timelines, right? UNLV's head coach just got, the Purdue job this morning, where I imagine, right, UNC probably needs to know from Bill.
And let's say it's late December, and we see 7, 8 teams open, and none of them want Bill. Then Bill's got to make a decision. Does he want to be a college head coach?
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
In-game live, we're right back here, and I got a college football complaint, if I may.
Go ahead.
If I may, they're doing the awards show. Travis Hunter, unreal season, future top 5 pick, and will win the Heisman Trophy. He's going to win it for what he's done on both sides of the football. Now, that does not mean that he hasn't been excellent on both sides, but I'm not sure he's been the best DB. And come on, the Biletnikoff, Nick Nash out there essentially won the Triple Crown. Most receptions at 104, most receiving yards at 1,382.
Never heard
and
of him.
led the. But Donnie, I understand that.
Restrepo?
But Nick Nash went out there and had the college football Triple Crown.
Who did he play for?
San Jose State.
Yeah, she's out.
Oh no, but Ashton Genty. Hold on, Ashton Genty, same conference. Donnie won the Doak Award. I don't like that. That's bad, man. That's really bad. That's not right.
Yeah.
That is not right. I don't know. Maybe nobody else cares. But look, you can bet on those things. I know that. Again,
what
Travis
was his number
Hunter
coming
is
on the Biletnikoff?
I don't think they don't update him, but a preseason you can catch him.
Yeah.
Right.
And Nick Nash is somebody that people knew would have a nice year at San Jose State. I don't know if they knew he would have that type of year. But the reality is, I don't know. I think at least in college football, maybe I'm crazy. I don't feel like often we see these things be popularity contests.
Yeah.
Like, Jaden Daniels did not win the Heisman last year, Lisi, because people thought he was cooler than Bo Nix.
No.
But like, Travis Hunter's not winning the Heisman Trophy because of how cool he is.
No, he's the best player in the nation.
Both sides of the football.
Right.
Yeah.
He should not be winning the Biletnikoff. I'm sorry, that's crazy. Some kid won the Triple Crown. It's pretty simple. If somebody wins the Triple Crown, they're the best receiver in college football. No?
Yeah. Yes, but again, Deion was also outspoken about Hunter not being mentioned with some of the other players.
He was left off the DB award.
I'm just saying. This is what happens. It's an objective award. Right. It's not right.
That's
but
not
again,
right.
I mean, what do you value more, playing in the Mountain West or playing in the Big 12 or playing in a Power 4?
Yeah. I bet you Genty won the Doak on unanimous. I bet you won it unanimous.
The Bednarik. Yeah, he's saying that they won Bednarik, not the Biletnikoff.
He won them both.
Okay, but
there you go.
Best
DB, best wideout, best player.
I'm confused.
Has anyone ever won the trifecta? Has anyone ever won 3 awards?
The Heisman, the best defense. Well, he's not going to win, I guess. No, probably no.
Amazing.
No. Again, an unreal season. I think if you've watched any college football today, I'm the big proponent of Colorado on our desk.
Yeah.
I've been that. Okay? He should not have won the Biletnikoff Award.
No, I understand what you're saying. It's just that we put a lot of value into Markey.
My God. He's a mess.
Now, that's where we just sit back because that's a game breaker for me right there. Yeah, that's a game breaker right there.
I agree with you as well.
Yeah, that hurt.
That
29-yard
grab. That hurt everybody on the desk.
Wow.
It's a 29-yard grab.
That was the trifecta.
Wow.
Right there. Unbelievable. What's his excuse now? Making TikToks.
Oh, that was a game breaker for me right there. That one hurt.
You know what's insane? Maybe they're not slowing it down enough for me.
Yeah.
But usually that's because you picked your head up too fast. I don't even feel like he did.
I don't know.
I feel like he just actually purely for anybody. I mean, you're all watching. Deebo Samuel just dropped probably a 29-yard touchdown.
Yeah. I had him for a touchdown prop that I got over his reception prop with Brock Purdy with a touchdown pass. Ooh, that's a tough scene right there.
That clears me on any number I have on him.
Oh.
Long reception, the whole ditty.
Yep.
All right, let's see what happens.
Yeah, he's probably not going to. He's probably not going to score. But come on, now.
It's him.
That safety was coming up pretty good.
But it's him. You know what I mean? I know I'm not trying to be ridiculous, but like
makes a move.
I'm pretty sure if he's every pass he's ever caught in the open, like around midfield, he scores on.
Yeah,
like finds a way.
He's just not in rhythm. San Fran not in rhythm either. Up 3, you got to have more than that. I mean, moving the football consistently on that drive.
That hurt. Yeah,
that's bad.
All right,
26.5, Lisi. You jumped in already.
I'm already committed. I mean, I'm good where I am on the 28.5 and 30.5. I don't have a problem with it. I would like to see. I'll tell you what. You know what I might get in on? As bad as he has looked, how about a Matt Stafford passing prod? They don't even have one right now. All passing touchdowns.
23 yards for Stafford.
There we go.
The third.
175 at plus 430. Or 150 for plus 194. Yeah. I might take that, Kev.
Yeah.
Say that again.
150 for plus 194. How bad? Unless his wing is his right wing
clipped.
is broken.
I wish they would hang a 400 plus.
4? Come on.
Oh, combined.
Oh, I was going to say.
Combined. No, I don't think he's going to get the 4th. We'll be right back.
Price?
I'm actually not even on a side today.
Yeah.
And I'll get to that. Why are you on Texas?
I gave them a chance. Maybe not me as the overwhelming authority.